We have called together the Sunday Roundtable this morning, and we're joined by Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh and Republican political analyst Rob Gray. Guys, I would like to pick up on the conversation we were just having with the representative. You just heard Representative Wynn say, and she's right when she says hate crime statistics are highly unreliable because they're underreported. So how hopeful would it be that Asians will now get front and center attention? Marianne, let me start with you.
The opportunity is there, and that's what it is, an opportunity. And the Asian American community, the AAPI community, needs to capitalize upon it. This isn't going to just happen. They really need to get out there and have high-profile protests, organize, become an electoral force. You saw Mazie Hirono and Tammy Duckworth, U.S. senators this week, flex their power in getting things from the Biden administration. I think the most powerful thing to do is not only copy Black Lives Matter and all the great organizations in the wake of the George Floyd murder, but to join forces. And then you're going to have real change in a really accelerated fashion, and it deserves to happen now.
What's the frontier look like, Rob, to you?
Well, I think it's already happening that Asian Americans discrimination is getting more attention, and it should. I mean, we've seen politicians in Washington pressuring Biden to appoint Asian Americans and all the other news coverage in the past couple of weeks. But I also think it's important in a public health sense to point out that there's nothing wrong with pointing out that the coronavirus originated in China. Robert Redfield, the former CDC director, did that this week. We talk about the Brazil variant. We talk about the South Africa variant. So public health-wise, it's okay to talk about that, but obviously it can't take the next step to discrimination.
And honestly, for the longest time, the 1918 flu pandemic had another name attached to it for the longest time, for 100 years.
Donald Trump weaponized it, and he put a target on the back of every Asian American when it came to COVID, and there's a direct correlation between Donald Trump's demonization of COVID and using it as a racist weapon and the rise in hate crimes against Asian Americans.
Let's switch to a more local view of the whole situation. Governor Baker was grilled this past week on why local boards of health did not organize and vaccinate most residents after spending millions in training and decades of training to do exactly that. Baker said limited supplies, the need for ultra cold storage, and 2 dose regimens required another system in place. Did he make the right call, Rob?
Well, I've been critical of the governor on the rollout, but I think the numbers now prove that he's been right in this sense in terms of doing these mass vaccination sites. Massachusetts is getting 90% of its doses into arms that they're given by the federal government now. The statistics show it. Massachusetts is in the top 10 in the country of states doing this, so you have to give the governor, now that we look back, credit at least for this process.
I have a feeling you don't agree, Marianne.
Well, you know, if you live in Western Mass, it doesn't work. If you live in Central Mass, it doesn't work. If you live on the Cape, it doesn't work because the Baker administration assumed everyone could just hop in a car and drive 2 hours. So the race and the roller coaster to quantity, which we barely finally got to, sacrificed equity, and that was unfair. There's no public transportation in Western Mass or any of those other. They have regional transit buses that seat like 12 people. They don't go from Greenfield to Springfield. They don't go from, you know, Hyannis to Dartmouth. They don't do that, and that's what's been sacrificed.
But listen, so local collaboratives, local pharmacies have the vaccine as well.
Situations got sacrificed. The fact is, it would have been better and convinced people more if local people that they know in their local health departments were giving the shots. They would have been more willing to do it.
Some are, more and more.
Next item, Attorney General Maura Healey is calling on the governor to signing a major contract with the consulting company McKinsey to assess the state's post-pandemic business climate. In her words, she called it outrageous because it was 1 month after the firm agreed to pay a $500 million penalty for its involvement in the OxyContin sales. So is she right, Marianne? And is there something else at play here?
Yes, of course she's right. First of all, McKinsey, who used to be a storied consulting firm, now puts profits over people and lives. For the $600 million they paid killed 450,000 people of opioid overdoses. That doesn't count the number of addicts. That's the equivalent of everybody almost who died under Trump of COVID. Now, let's look at South Africa. They had to pay a $100 million fine there because they were part of the upending and corruption case in the government there. When Jamal Khashoggi was murdered, they helped identify all the dissidents in Saudi Arabia. And guess what? The king and everybody went after the dissidents, jailed them, hacked their phones and everything else. So do we really want to listen to McKinsey about how Massachusetts should go back to work after the COVID crisis? No, it's absurd.
Rob, just on the optics, it seems that Marianne is spot on.
Well, listen, I'm more interested in the political optics here and the political sizzle of this, which is the Attorney General taking the governor on head on, something she usually doesn't do, and using a word like outrageous to describe it. It indicates to me that she's certainly taking soundings for a political run, to run for governor herself, and sending that signal. Is this a telltale? We'll see, but I have to take it that way.
I think she would have done it anyways, but it certainly looks like it's a toe in the political water. It has the last few weeks, but she's right. This is outrageous. It was the wrong call.
Kim Janey says her elevation to Boston mayor breaks not a glass ceiling, but a concrete one. Here's a visual showing Boston's new leadership. We don't know yet if Janey will run this fall, but none of the candidates so far are white males. Is Boston poised for a real change finally, Rob?
Well, it certainly looks like it. That being said, we still have time before the filing deadline, and other candidates could get into this race. So we can't assume that this is the final slate of candidates, but you have to think that Janey has some advantages as an incumbent. She is going to run herself, even though she won't admit it, and that most likely we will have a minority mayor of Boston, permanent.
But Marianne, when you see Kim Budd and you see Ayanna Pressley, as well as Kim Janey up on that stage, what does that say to you?
Change is coming, and it's coming through political action, and those are elections. When voters make the choices to put people in office, including especially people of color now, that's a momentum deal. That is a change, and that is an endorsement by the people whom they govern. And to me, yes, Kim Janey being the first woman and first black woman in that office as an acting mayor is symbolic and important. But true change comes from elections. We've learned that the hard way the last 5 years. And real change comes from real elections that elect people who look like everybody. And we're getting that in Boston.
The election for the mayor of Boston is this November. Guys, in a word, if number one is the mayor's priority is COVID, what is number two? Marianne, let me start with you.
Economic development, putting people back to work.
Rob, what do you think?
Well, I'm not sure what her priority should be, but the political hot potato is the Boston Police Commissioner quandary that she's going to have to handle first.